From the shape of your skull to the size of your foot, your body physical characteristics are more or less entirely predetermined from the start. Of course, you can get plastic surgery or break a bone, but we human beings generally have very little control over our body's features. But what about intellectual and physical abilities, like playing basketball, drawing, or solving math problems? Are they hereditary or learned? Today, most scientists agree that if you want to become a concert violinist, you not only need to have a musical disposition, but you must dedicate years of your life to practicing. Still, there are as many answers to these questions as there are people, for our mindset plays a crucial role in how we see ourselves and others. In simple terms, our mindset shapes our beliefs in accomplishing something. These two extremes form the basis for the concept of a fixed versus a growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe they are born naturally gifted at doing something but utterly incapable of others, whereas people with a growth mindset believe they can become virtuous on anything if they try hard enough. In consequence, the people in the latter group continue growing through their lives, acquiring new skills without reservation and actively engaging in their relationships. For them, life, in all its facets, is in a constant state of change. By contrast, people with a fixed mindset often let their black and white way of thinking obstruct their development. If they fail at something, they bury their heads in the sand or blame others. They hope for everlasting love in their relationships rather than working on their relationships themselves. The first takeaway of this book is, an individual's abilities are in set stone in the fixed mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe that talent is king. In their view, a person's abilities are set in stone from the get-go. A person is, by nature, either intelligent and talented or stupid and incompetent, and will stay this way. Big companies like Enron and McKinsey, whose HR departments invest a lot of money into scouting out so-called naturals at universities, embody this way of thinking. The grads they hire are expected to instantly boost companies' performance with their outstanding abilities. But since the grads are so talented, they receive little training and are not expected to progress in their jobs or grow in new roles. As a result, their superiors evaluate them constantly. Are these grads really as smart as they thought, or do their errors reveal that they lack the talent to get the job done? People with a fixed mindset think that employees who are not perfect from day one never will be, so it's best to let them go quickly. Moreover, people with a fixed mindset believe they can only do things they show a natural aptitude for, that practice certainly does not make perfect. Since they are quick to judge themselves and other people as being good or bad at something, they assume others are judging them all the time. Thus, they feel the need to show how talented and smart they are every chance they get. They believe their entire personality is at stake. One slip up could be enough to brand them as incompetent fools for life. They constantly seek approval from others to protect their egos and confirm that they really are as great as they think they are. The next takeaway from this book is, growth and development are possible in the growth mindset. When children with a growth mindset are given a math problem to solve at school, they jump to the challenge and want to do more problems just like it at home. They recognize that the more problems they solve, the more they learn. The sky is the limit when it comes to life's possibilities for children with a growth mindset. It's hard to define their precise degree of intelligence today, let alone predict what they might be tomorrow. Sure, their grades reflect their status at one moment at a time, but these kids believe they can learn more with hard work, dedication, and perseverance. Moreover, they're not interested in getting the highest grades or being better than other students. They want to feel the satisfaction of pushing themselves to the limit of their growth potential. Whether music or sports, writing or drawing, they practice relentlessly and are quite aware that it's only through practice and the occasional failure, obviously, that they can improve their skills. People with a growth mindset relish any opportunity to learn tricks from the creme de la creme in any field. They reconsider and discard strategies used in the past and are always thinking about how they can eradicate their faults and weaknesses. In their relationships, they encourage their partners to continue learning and working on themselves. When they play sports, they play knowing they are serving the team. When they run a business, they show their employees respect, are grateful for their work, and ask for their honest opinion on things, however inconvenient the truth might be. People with a growth mindset welcome problems and see them as challenges and not obstacles. They willingly put their energy in bettering themselves and the world around them. The next takeaway from this book is: people with a fixed mindset seek approval. Those with a growth mindset seek development. Lee Iacocca became the CEO of Chrysler Motors when it was on the brink of collapse. Thanks to his swift decision-making and good feel for employees, he was able to bring the company back to life. But after that, his behavior changed abruptly. He started resting on his laurels, flaunting his superiority and putting more energy into his own image than into the company's welfare. His sole objective became to seek approval from others. Iacocca clearly exhibits a fixed mindset. Just as he classifies everything as either good or bad, he feels others scrutinizing him, labeling him as either a winner or a loser. And because he would like to be a winner, he tries to appear as intelligent and talented as possible, instead of finding ways to improve the company. Contrast this with Lou Gerstner, who took over IBM just as it was about to go belly up. Pledged with a fixed mindset work environment, the company was wasting energy on internal disagreements instead of focusing on service and teamwork. Everyone was trying to do what was best for themselves. Thus, the company was not meeting customers' needs. To change that, Gerstner broke down the company's hierarchy and emphasized teamwork, rewarding employees who supported their co-workers. He also opened up communication pathways through the company, putting himself on the same level as his employees. These enabled him to establish personal contact with as many employees as possible in a short period of time. Gerstner's growth mindset enabled him to create a new environment based on teamwork and development. The focus moved away from individual success and towards shared development. Based on this concept, he was able to bring about lasting success at IBM. The next takeaway of this book is: the fixed mindset sees failures as disasters. The growth mindset sees them as opportunities. Failure has a dramatic repercussion for people with a fixed mindset. Take the golfer Sergio Garcia. When he was having a bad streak, he fired one caddy after another in fits of rage. Once, he even blamed his shoes, whereupon he took them off and threw them to an innocent bystander out of frustration. People with a fixed mindset do not believe they can learn from their mistakes. They see failures as evidence that they will be losers forever. One defeat negates and devalues all past successes. In order to preserve whatever little self-confidence they have, people with a fixed mindset make excuses, cheat, or lose interest and look the other way. They do not seek help or analyze their weaknesses, and they certainly do not try to get better by practicing. They see themselves as a finished product, not a continual process. Even basketball Hall of Famer Michael Jordan had periods in his own career when he did not dunk the ball every ball he touched. He missed a good 26 potential winning shots. However, rather than sticking his head in the sand, he practiced the shots he missed over and over again. By the end of his career, he had the best shooting technique of anybody in the court. Michael Jordan obviously had a growth mindset. Rather than finding faults in his teammates or in the court's floor, he looked for ways to improve his own skills and game. He analyzed his mistakes, practiced even harder than ever, and took advice from other people. He firmly believed that he could transform his defeats into victories, as long as he tried hard enough. The next takeaway of this book is: people with a fixed mindset avoid difficulties. Those with a growth mindset relish them. There are many things in life we can only achieve with effort. Yet, when people with a fixed mindset are faced with difficult situations, all they see are risks. Because the more time and energy they invest in something, the fewer excuses they have if they fail. Plus, they believe in the enormous power of natural talent. Gifted people should not need to try so hard. This way of thinking makes it impossible for people with a fixed mindset to better themselves without questioning their own talent, and so they avoid difficult situations. They do not want to potentially make a fool of themselves. The violinist Nadja Salerno Sonnenberg exhibited this kind of behavior. At the age of 10, she was already critically acclaimed. By 18, she held her violin incorrectly and her fingers were stiff. Every time she tried to learn something new, she became so afraid of failing, she will stop bringing her violin to lessons and avoid playing altogether. If the actor Christopher Reeve had such mindset, he will have remained completely paralyzed from the neck down for the rest of his life, just as the doctors predicted after his accident. However, he had a growth mindset. Rather than passively accepting his fate, he took control of his situation. So, he underwent a strenuous training program, and then the impossible happened. Contrary to all diagnosis, he moved his hands, then his legs, and finally his entire body. Challenges give people with a growth mindset the opportunity to pursue purpose-filled actions. Like Reeves, they strive to make the impossible possible. The next takeaway from this book is: our mindset is often strongly influenced by the role models we had as children. What factors determine whether a person has a growth or a fixed mindset? What factors determine whether a person realizes his potential or spends his life trading water? Mindset development begins at birth. Babies come into this world with a growth mindset. They want to learn and grow as much as possible each day. The adults in a child's environment, usually his or her parents, play a huge role in determining whether the child maintains this desire to grow or eventually adopts a fixed mindset. Simply put, parents set a mindset example for their children. Parents with a growth mindset encourage their children and urge them to continue learning, whereas those with a fixed mindset are always judging their children, telling them what is right and what is wrong, what is good or bad. Babies aged between 1 and 3 already behave accordingly. Growth mindset babies will try to help other baby who is crying. Fixed mindset babies, by contrast, are annoyed by it. Teachers are also very important role models and influence children's mindsets. There are many teachers who believe that a student performance is unchangeable. The good student will continue to do well, and weak students will always get C's or D's. Weaker students will develop a fixed mindset as a result. But good teachers, those who firmly believe their students are capable of learning anything, handle the situation differently. They show their students different ways of solving math problems or understanding Shakespeare. The weaker students embrace a growth mindset and start getting better grades. They are no longer doomed to think of themselves as dumb by nature. Our mindset is not entirely predetermined. It can change as early as childhood when we adopt the mindset of our role models. The last takeaway from this book is: anyone can adopt a growth mindset and make the impossible possible. Nobody has to be a victim of her own surroundings when developing her own mindset. The brain can be trained like any other muscle. If you want a growth mindset, we can teach ourselves to think that way one step at a time. Here's an example. You accidentally drop a plate on the floor. The first fixed thought might be, "I'm so clumsy." But people who are conscious of this reaction and want to change, it can push themselves to adopt a growth mindset by thinking, "Oh well, these things happen, I'll clean up and be more careful next time." Working towards a growth mindset presents a great opportunity to reach out to others for support, to talk about our faults and mistakes, and to make viable, concrete plans for achieving our goals. It is important to understand that a fixed mindset is not easy to kick. It has likely become an emotional crutch over the years. It protects us from failure, creates recognition in the eyes of our parents and partners, and boosts our self-confidence. It comforts us time and again, so getting rid of it can be extremely discomforting. In truth, it's not necessary to give up a fixed mindset altogether. As long as we adopt a growth perspective in certain situations, even if a person believes he's a lost cause when it comes to sports, that person can still be making leaps and bounds at work every day. Adopting a growth mindset in any field enables us to make the impossible possible, just like Christopher Reeve, and to continue improving our talents and skills, just like Michael Jordan. In this regard, the growth mindset is the key to self-fulfillment. This summary is based on the book Mindset: The New Psychology of Success by Dweck. If you like the summary you just watched, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. If you would like us to summarize any other book, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.